Hello, my loves. How are you? Okay, so let's see. It is Tuesday, April the 28th. Okay, so this energy it's a lot for so many people to digest in these first days of what we're really feeling with our accelerated feelings and tuning into things that before, maybe we didn't get or comprehend. And there is this acceleration, and for that reason, it can be it can be too much for a lot of people if you're trying to understand it as it's rolling along. It's another part that's just important, that you are surrendering to whatever this is and not really trying to judge it too much as it's moving along. And understand that component is necessary, because this is about helping you to see how much you do change and see how much you do get better in life. And these are to inspire you to look at these moments that you're in right now that are in dysfunction or out of balance, and to not continue seeing them as something that is wrong or a negative. So we have to have this kind of accelerated thing going on with our past and with the decisions we've made, and seeing all these things and feeling things in different ways, recognizing how you feel around certain people and how you feel around other certain people, or even recognizing how, if you have problems with people, it will mean that they come to your mind a lot. And at this time, you can take that and understand that there is something there, that there's something related to feelings that's in some way guiding you to some kind of dysfunction, some kind of imbalance, something that possibly will even require for you to let this go. And that's the thing, is we just never know as we grow from all the wounds that we heal and all the stronger decisions we make from valuing ourselves and expecting things to be better. When we hold these higher positions, things just fall away. Things just don't fit anymore. Things can't be held by you anymore. And at this time, we're really seeing what those things are. So we're going to see what actually supports us and nurtures us and helps us grow and helps us see that we do all make mistakes. And it's really on us to just learn to forgive and understand that we do all make mistakes, but we don't really get to that compassion for others until we first apply it to ourselves. And that's why another part of the rapid flashback to all these things from your past, the nostalgia, the things of just sense can definitely be strong. You can just be smelling things like, wait, did I just smell something from 4 decades ago? Or, did I just smell a grandfather? Did I just smell my grandmother? Did I just smell that restaurant, that bar? But whatever those are, they are to waft in, because you are to tie these things together. And, however it is to play out for us, it is so incredibly mysterious. It's so mysterious at this time, where we really just don't know. We really just don't know. But it's essential that you're learning to allow that feeling of not knowing to be something that actually is okay, and not something that requires you to worry and interpret it in all these manic ways. Instead of just allowing it to be what it is, and to continue riding like the roller coaster ride, where you're essentially out of control, except for how you handle what this is going to be like and how you handle what those next steps are going to be like. So we're learning through our feeling bodies, what are going to be things that are supporting the new growth and the changes that we're going through as we are awakening to this old path or these ideas that kept us locked in choosing for things that aren't for our best. And one of the things that'll be coming out of the coronavirus is a lot of people wanting to scale down, but really scale down based on value, and not just scale down across the board, but scale down on what you're choosing to support you. Is this supporting you? You could, one of the things too, I just flashed to, we got to say real quick, but you can be having body signs where there's inflammation or there's things that just are not how they should be. And this is ultimately about something that doesn't fit. So it's going to be something that can be an allergy. It can be something with food. It can be people. It can be an environment. It can be a home. It could be an idea around what you've now chosen for in your life. But with the scaling down, one of the things that's going to happen is a lot of people are going to realize that they don't necessarily need the big houses and all the rooms and all the things to expand into. And in the spiritual world, there would definitely be a message at points of it that do say, oh, you should get something bigger to grow into. You should get something to expand into. You should get something that is beyond where you are so that you can actually grow into that. And that does make sense in ways, but in the reality that we're in right now, we're all wanting to go towards things that hold us now. Something that fits now, not something that you grow into or something that you buy that, well, when I lose 20 pounds, I'll be able to wear this. I'm going to buy it because I know I'm going to lose 20 pounds, not doing that kind of mentality around things. And choosing for things that fit right now, because also when you're in that space of recognizing that there's enough to go around, you're not thinking that you need to grab for something bigger. You're not thinking you need to buy 3 rolls of toilet paper because you want to have 2 months of stock instead of, what you really need. That thinking is where we're shifting right now, because we're coming out of that space where we're so automatically thinking there's not enough to go around. I got to protect me over you. I got to get my cut. I got to make sure I'm okay. I got to make sure I'm taken care of, not focusing in that way, but still kind of seeing that we're all really in this together. And when you realize we're in this together, you operate in a different way out in the world. You're more aware of, how do we keep this growing? How do we keep this as a supportive unit? How do we come together? How do we all work together? How do we, you come in this totally different perspective, but just like the other way, you don't know what's going to happen. You still don't know. We still don't know, but there is a way for us to actually come from this position of valuing ourselves so much that we are like connected to our higher power or God or whatever you want to call the thing that you think this whole thing is about, and walk that talk, and believe that, value yourself enough to know that you will get through this. You will figure it out. You do have the tools. You don't have to worry. Just keep going. And what we're realizing right now is that our bodies are speaking so much about what is on the path of what we should take and what is not. And our bodies are letting us know, is this good for you? Does that really, really feel good? Really, really like go into your body and like see how you feel about this, instead of jumping into, oh, here's this opportunity. I better leap with all my might and think that everybody else is going to be leaping too. So I need to leap bigger. I need to think about, all these things of, but me, and I need to fight for this. Another part of this energy wants us to know that we don't have to fight for anything in our lives. And even all those jobs we got, all those houses we got, all those relationships we got, we were going to get them anyway. They were there for us anyway. But we did show up and say, hey, I want to try this out. I want to live out this experience, this pathway for a minute. So in listening to our bodies, honoring our bodies, we're seeing a lot of new things manifest, and they're just going to get us to even more really think about what this is saying inside of our bodies, what that signal means, what that is about. And the more we get into this secure dialogue with what our bodies are always telling us, the more we're seeing that it really is all okay, and we really are getting the signs. Just like, remember when I told you when I was out on the dog park in Durango and I had my headphones on, which I've only done like 3 times in decades. I never am out in nature with headphones on. And even though I used to walk in San Francisco at like 10 p.m. in the city, at night with headphones on, and you didn't think nothing of it. It was just like, yeah, I got, 12 blocks to walk home at 10 p.m., pop on the headphones, let's go. You didn't think anything of anything bad happening, but no way do I do it now, but I did do it, and I took a risk knowing that you don't do it anymore, and instantly I get a predator on me. And how, like, when that guy was behind me and he was so close behind me, and I didn't know because I had headphones on and I was walking, but then how I told you, all of a sudden I felt tingles, all like pricks all over my entire front of my body. Like every part of my body that was front was being pricked. And it was so alarming that I didn't know what was happening, and I pulled the earphone out, actually. I pulled it out of my ear. And then I instantly started looking around, and that's when I saw the guy was right behind me. But I even more looked behind me because all the pricks were coming to the front of my body. It was something that was every part of me in the front was being attention, 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 that I instantly knew to look behind me. I instantly knew something was there. I pulled him out and turned. I turned so quickly, he didn't even have time to do anything, except he just then all of a sudden made a right turn as if he meant to do it, even though he was like an arm's length behind me. But our bodies are telling us things. I can't tell you how many times I've walked things now where then, and you all know this story, we then get to the end of it and we're like, oh my gosh, I totally had signs, I totally felt wrong about that. I totally felt a hesitation about that. And the thing is when we don't value ourselves, we ignore those body signs because we're wired to please all of you. We're wired to make your life better. We're wired to not ruffle your feathers. We're wired to make everything easier on you and to kind of fit into these things. But in reality, our bodies are like, no, this is unacceptable. I don't want to do this. No, I'm going to have to make this change out of the blue and tell you no now because it doesn't feel right. And maybe it did feel right for a while. That's the thing too that can be so confusing for us because often, it did feel good for a while, but we're always changing. And we just have to surrender to, we really are servants on this journey of our precious experience of life on earth that doesn't last that long. And we have to be aware that there's ways to ride it, that we really are just continually going up and up and up and up the mountain instead of around and around and around the mountain to the point it's like you hardly never get up. There's ways to go up and up and up, and it comes from surrendering, and it comes from learning so much about how wrong you constantly are getting it, but you're not going to realize it till months down the way when you come to another awakening. And we have to lighten up on ourselves because the main reason you guys are going around and around and around is because you're beating yourself up inside. And you're not valuing yourself. Whew, okay, but we got to stop. We're coming to the end. Look at how we keep doing this. Okay, but I love you. We'll continue with this on Thursday. Okay, bye.